Hey, I wanted to hop on really quick to continue with my theme on self care. I wanted to share a few books that I enjoy reading because that's one of my things that I do for self care. Now, I do have to say, when I share these books, I am the type of person, typically, I read multiple books when I'm reading. Unless it's a really good book, then I'll read like the whole book. But even if it is good, sometimes it just depends on my mood. I'll read a little bit and then go to something else. Some books I complete, some books I don't complete, but I love books and I love paperback books or hard books, hardcover books. So um, I am the type of person I read pretty much. I like a bunch of things, so I don't kind of stick to one type of genre of books. I read from Dean Koontz, which I used to read that when I was much younger, to I've read a book called American Prison, which I really recommend for people to read, by Shane Brower. He went undercover. He's a journalist. He went undercover to just uncover the prison system. It was a really, really educational book. And then another one that I read was Black Skin, White Mask. And these books I've read a long time ago, completed those by France Fion. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was a French psychiatrist. But that one was a really good book as well. So let's get to the books that I'm currently reading now. Okay, so one book that I'm reading now is called Addiction. She was introduced to this author, Margaret McHeyzer. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. But I started reading her book probably a few months ago. I first read her book, Ugly, and then another one, Mistrust, and now I'm reading Addiction. I do have to say, though, if it's very triggering. She writes about sexual abuse, physical abuse. It's like people's stories, um, but they're so detailed and so. It's really, really good book. So I like to read. That's a good book. So I'm just going to try to get through this fast because I don't want this video to be long, but I highly recommend those books to really um, understand what people go through when they're in abusive situations. One of the books, Ugly, when I read that one, it was a young lady. She had um, a very hard childhood. And when she got older, all of the trauma that she experienced as a child, it carried over into her adulthood. And I found myself someone that's in the field of mental health, someone that feels like I have empathy and sympathy for people that are in those types of situations. I found myself like, why is she staying? Why didn't you just doing the things that I never thought that I would do? So it made me self reflect, and but it was a really good book. So, but again, triggering. Another book that I am reading, and this is more of an educational purpose for myself, just because when it comes to religion and mental health, I think sometimes there's this disconnect. So I'm reading this book, The Bible and Mental Health. It's by Justin Welby. Um, Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the last name, but once again, this is educational just because I'm just fascinated when it comes to religion and especially the Bible, mental health, how they talk about mental health in the Bible. Because someone that grew up in the church, um, mental health was never discussed or talked about at all. Um, I don't even remember preachers preaching about it. I know nowadays I hear it more, which is really good, but so that's just something that I'm interested in. The next two are by the same author. I am not even for sure how I was introduced to this author, Ruby Dhal. Sorry if I mispronounced the last name again. Um, a lot of some of the posts that I put on Instagram are inserts from her book. But this is actually the first book is poems, and she really writes about healing from relationships, whether it's in, you know, intimate relationships, friendships, but just self healing and very powerful. Um, Very powerful for poems. So this one is called My Hope for Tomorrow. Again, just a very simple. It's not even a thick book. I'm sorry, these are poems, but it's a very short book of poems. It's not something that you just kind of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna read through the whole thing. It's one of those. It's a book of poems again. So you just every day you read one, or occasionally you just pick it up and read. Um, I actually, my niece, she doesn't like to read. And I read one poem out of this book to her, and she ended up buying the book and ended up reading the book and this book of poems, and just has fallen in love with it. And she's sharing it with other people. So, um, if you're about healing, if you're at a point, if you're in this stage in your life where you're conflicted and you're maybe in a marriage or in a relationship or friendship or whatever it is, you and your partner or whatever it is you're going through, and you're just can't find the words to describe like how you feel. Um, this is a book that is just such simple poems, but very powerful. How she how she put the words together is just beautiful. So that's a book that I'm reading, or a book of poems that I'm reading. And this one is by the same author, Ruby Dhal. And once again, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing the last name. This one is called Dear Self. And I'm actually reading this one with my niece and my sister. It's once again, it's just on this journey of healing and forgiving self, and so very powerful. Um, but yeah, I really recommend her work. And then something else I'm just gonna add. This is just a little bookmark that I made. These are my bookmarks. I have a whole bunch of them, but I like do this and then laminate them or whatever. But these are my bookmarks. I just want to throw that in there because that's part of my self care that I like to do. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. I hope you enjoy it. If you have some books out there that you enjoy reading, share it with me. I love books. I need a book budget because when someone mentions a book to me, the next day I'm ordering it on Amazon and looking to purchase it. So I hope you're having a blessed day. I hope your day is going beautifully. Is that a word? I hope your day is going great. I love you. And until next time, bye.